Today we are getting our hands dirty, literally. We're going to dive into how you can harness what I like to call nature's alchemy to transform completely ordinary yard waste into rich, biologically active humus right there in your own backyard. It's essentially about creating high-quality, free, organic topsoil from scratch.
So we always hear about how precious the topsoil is, right? I mean, that upper 5 to 10 inches of the Earth's surface is absolutely crucial. It's where the highest concentration of organic matter and microscopic life hangs out, basically forming the literal foundation for our entire food supply. But have you ever wondered about the timeline to create it naturally? It might actually shock you.
Yeah, through normal geological and biological processes, the slow weathering of rocks, the gradual decay of fallen leaves over centuries, it takes anywhere from 500 to 1,000 years just to generate one single inch of topsoil. It is an incredibly, painfully slow process when left entirely up to the elements.
But here's the incredible part, the real game changer. By actively managing trash piles of yard debris and harnessing that natural alchemy, we can actually accelerate this massive timeline down to less than a month. No way, right? But it's true. By simply giving decomposers the optimal environment, we literally fast-track centuries of soil creation into just a few short weeks.
To make this happen, we're going to follow a 4-step alchemist journey today. We'll start with gathering free materials, then balancing the soil recipe, managing your microfarm, and finally, finishing and blending. Let's get right into it. Step 1. Gathering free materials and finding the ingredients right in your own yard.
Look, you really don't need to go out and buy expensive amendments. Instead of burning or tossing your yard debris, you want to build a trash pile, because honestly, this is your future dirt. You're going to start with woody tree waste, stuff like stumps, roots, and limbs. Then mix that up with a solid foundation of raked leaves and grass clippings. Next, add in carbon-heavy materials like sawdust and bark to really improve that soil structure. And finally, toss in your kitchen scraps. Things like coffee grounds and crushed eggshells are fantastic because they add nitrogen and act as a natural pH buffer.
Oh, and definitely don't forget the fire pit. Fireplace ash is essentially black gold for your garden. It provides potash, calcium, and essential trace minerals like zinc and copper. Now, it is incredibly potent, so you definitely want to use it sparingly, but if your soil is acidic, it is a total game changer for boosting your soil's nutritional profile and raising that pH. Moving on to step 2, balancing the soil recipe and hitting that critical carbon to nitrogen ratio.
Gathering the materials is the easy part, but balancing them correctly is absolutely critical. If you just throw random waste into a big pile, it's honestly just going to sit there for a year doing absolutely nothing. To get that rapid decomposition we're after, you want to aim for an ideal carbon to nitrogen ratio of about 25 to 30 parts carbon for every 1 part nitrogen. Your browns, like dried leaves and branches, provide the carbon. Your greens, like grass clippings and kitchen scraps, provide the nitrogen. Nailing this specific 30-to-1 ratio is what keeps the decomposition rate perfectly sustained.
But hey, here is a massive caution for you. Raw sawdust has an astronomical imbalance of roughly 500 parts carbon to 1 part nitrogen. It is almost entirely pure carbon. So why does that matter? Well, if you just dump raw sawdust into your garden thinking it makes a good mulch, you will trigger something called nitrogen immobilization. The soil bacteria desperately want to break down all that carbon, but they need nitrogen to build their own cellular proteins. So they will aggressively steal every ounce of available nitrogen right out of the surrounding soil, literally starving your healthy green plants to death in the process.
The brilliant fix for this is actually pretty simple. Feed the bacteria up front. Mix 1 cup of a heavy nitrogen source, something like blood meal, poultry manure, or, hey, even diluted urine, for every 5-gallon bucket of sawdust. This feeds the bacteria right away so they can break down the wood without stealing from your plants. And the best part? As those microbes eventually die off, they slowly release perfectly balanced, highly available nutrients straight back to your plant roots.
Just a really quick note on shredded bark. Don't rush it. Fresh bark actually contains natural phenols and terpenes that can be toxic to young plants until they are fully composted. You really just need to give them about 4 to 6 months in a compost pile to naturally break down those inhibitory substances before letting them anywhere near your delicate seedlings.
All right, step 3, managing your microbe farm by dialing in the oxygen, moisture, and heat.
Building soil isn't just about letting things rot. You are actually managing a living, microscopic workforce, and they need very specific conditions to do their jobs. You want to kickstart this workforce by inoculating your pile with about 10% native garden soil. That introduces all those amazing existing native microbes and fungi. Once they're in there, you must constantly feed them oxygen. So grab your pitchfork or shovel and turn the pile every few days so it doesn't go sour and anaerobic on you.
Moisture is the next absolutely critical factor. You want to maintain a hydration level of around 55 to 60%. The easiest way to think about it is that it should feel exactly like a wrung-out sponge. If it's too dry, the whole workforce just packs up and stops. But if it's too wet, those beneficial aerobic microbes will literally drown. As those bacteria rapidly multiply and feast, a healthy pile is going to get incredibly hot, generating heat somewhere between 110 and 160 degrees Fahrenheit. When you go to turn it, you'll literally feel that heat radiating off of it. And that thermal energy is perfect. It proves your microbes are doing the heavy lifting, and it's exactly what you need to naturally kill off any pathogenic fungi and pesky weed seeds. And that brings us to step 4, finishing and blending, taking it from raw waste to rich humus.
In under 30 days of this active management, the microbes will finish up their main course, the pile's temperature will finally drop back down to room temperature, and the alchemy is complete. At this stage, you just use a simple screen to filter out the larger, unrotted sticks, which you can easily just toss into your next starter pile. What falls through that screen is 100% organic, chemical-free topsoil that is dark, crumbly, and smells exactly like a sweet, earthy forest floor. Oh, and a quick tip. Check the pH of your finished mix. If it's a little too acidic, this is the perfect time to use just a tiny bit of that potent wood ash we talked about to raise the pH before planting.
So, to actually use this new topsoil in your yard, here is the golden rule of thumb mix based on what kind of existing ground you have. If you're dealing with heavy, compacted clay soils, you want to blend 1 part of your new topsoil with 2 parts fine gravel and 2 parts organic matter, just to ensure proper drainage. On the flip side, if you have light, sandy soil, just mix 1 part topsoil to 1 part organic matter to really lock that water in. Once it's blended, just scoop it up and dump it right into your garden beds.
It's amazing, because by feeding the soil biome correctly from the ground up, you're establishing this incredible self-sustaining loop. It drastically improves water retention, boosts your plant's natural immunity, and naturally invites earthworms to move in and do the rest of the hard work for you. You can completely stop relying on expensive synthetic fertilizers, and instead, you're building an ecosystem that practically takes care of itself.
So, as we wrap up this explainer today, I want you to take a look around your yard and really ask yourself, what waste are you bagging up and throwing away today that could literally be tomorrow's black gold? Whether it's grass clippings, autumn leaves, or sawdust from a local wood shop, the ingredients for perfect soil are quite literally right in front of you. You just have to balance the recipe, feed the microbes, and step back to let nature do what it does best. Thanks for joining me, and happy microbe farming.
Thanks for watching. Please remember to smash that like button, subscribe and turn notifications on and share with everyone you know. Also leave a comment down below. Say hi or ask a question. Again, thanks for watching and see you in our next video. Cheers!